We're recording. Okay. So, hi you guys. I'm so excited to do this. I love Amanda so much. I'm so excited for her to be on here and just talk to you guys and just like get us super ready for April. I almost said for February. It's fine. But yeah, I'm so pumped. So if you can just go ahead and start with just like a little bit of your story, just so, I mean, I know you, but I know not everyone on my team does, and we'll just go from there.
Hi. Okay. So basically, I am a triple diamond. I joined the company 3 years ago. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this because this thing is weird. Okay. I joined the company 3 years ago and like 3 months. And whenever I joined, I had just had my son and I was still on maternity leave technically from my dream job at our church. It's what I studied for. It's what I planned for. It's what I wanted to do. But he was born a month early and he was really sick. He was premature, but even after he got out of the hospital from that, he had a lot of health issues, like really a lot. And we just kept going back to the hospital. And I just was thinking about like still being on maternity leave and thinking like I can't leave him. And then my friend, Brittany, who I had been watching her like when I was pregnant, she joined the company when I was pregnant. And I literally didn't know that I was interested in the business. She said she knew like the whole time that I was going to join. And I'm like, well, I didn't. So that's news to me because I didn't know at all. But I had been watching her like dramatically change her family's life. And she kept following up. So through the midst of like my medical dilemma before having Daniel, when he was in the NICU, after that, like, and I didn't realize it at the time. And it didn't annoy me because I know we always think we're annoying people. But she kept following up. She kept telling me each month, like, hey, I know you weren't interested. I actually went back and read them. It's really funny, like from a very long time ago. But hey, I know you weren't interested, but I wanted to tell you that, or like it wasn't the right time for you, but I wanted to tell you we've got BOGO wraps right now. If you get set up, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even reply to any of them. So like kudos to her for keeping going on that. I didn't reply to them not because I was like upset with her, but just because like life was completely crazy. And I reply to anybody. So she just kept replying, just kept sending me stuff. Like every time there was something, she was like, I just wanted to let you know this is going on. I just want to let you know this is going on. And then Christmas Eve, I was like sitting there holding my baby. He was not good. Like he was sick. We had hospital appointments, all kinds of stuff. And then she sent me a message. I had completely forgotten, farthest thing from my mind. It wasn't like I was talking to my husband, like, hey, let's maybe do this. We had talked about it a long time ago. And I didn't bring it up since then, not because I was against it, but just because I hadn't thought of it because so much was going on, which I'm going into this in a lot more detail than I usually do because I want to tell you guys, I think that's what's happening right now. And I think that that's why, I'll explain it in a little bit, but I think that that's why extreme follow-up right now is really important. I could not explain to you, like, absolutely nowhere on my radar. Wasn't thinking about her, wasn't thinking about the business, wasn't really thinking clearly at all, and couldn't strategize, baby, job, what am I going to do? I was just like a mess. So she sent me a message, the same one she sent to like however many people she was following up with. And it was BOGO wraps for that specific thing. And I sent back, okay, it was 11:56 p.m. midnight. So like the thing ended in like 4 minutes. And then I said, okay, she sent me her link. And then I like hurried up and got on there and was like a crazy person. Like I didn't ask her any questions. And she said she was shocked when I said, okay. She was like, oh, wow. Okay. And then she just sent me her link. She didn't even have time to say anything else. And then I clicked it and then I joined and it was like at 11:59, I was like, oh, did I get it? Did I get the BOGO wraps? And then I did. So like everything has changed since then. So like 6 months in, and she and I really have like started this business together. So like she was a Ruby when I got started. And then she went Diamond. I think she went Diamond when I went Ruby. And I went Diamond 6 months in and started making full-time income, replaced my full-time income from the church. And then 20 months in, I doubled that income. 28 months in, I tripled it and started making 5 figures a month. And honestly, it's just changed every single thing. So I'm really thankful that she kept following up with me. And that's why, like, till the cows come home, like, I am going to follow up with people because I know, like, what a blessing this has been for our family. Like, it literally makes me want to cry right now. And I know that, like, if she didn't care enough to follow up with me, like, I would have never joined. I wouldn't have thought about, I mean, maybe I would have, I don't know, but like, I completely forgot about it. I wasn't like sitting there mulling it over like, oh, maybe I'll do this. I also wasn't sitting there thinking like, I'm annoyed with this girl for keeping messaging me. I wasn't thinking any of that. I was thinking, sick baby, what am I going to do? So don't feel bad to help people make the right decision. Don't feel bad for that. And don't feel bad for like caring enough to keep telling them what's going on. Sorry, that was a lot longer than I thought it was.
No, that was literally like, I love that. Cause like, I've never heard that side of your story before. So I mean, like, it's always good just to hear different things, but I mean, like, it's so true. And like, especially with like what's going on right now, like it may not be that exactly, but like we have to help people. And like that's been like the biggest thing that like I've been putting like in the back of my head is just like, I don't care if I've messaged this girl 500 times. And like I know on like work scene the other day we were like pushing for promotions and everything, and I just know I was on here with Danny and I was like, this is the 6th time I've messaged this girl and she hasn't responded to me. And I was like, I don't even feel bad about it because like I'm helping her. So
yeah, we were talking about this. We were talking about that last night because everyone's like, I don't want to be pushy. And I'm like, I am pushy. But I explained it like this. And I know you guys, a lot of you might not have kids. I feel like it's like when you make your kids brush their teeth. Like, I don't ask him if he wants to brush his teeth. He's going to brush his teeth. And that's like whenever people are interested in this business and I know that it's right for them, I have a feeling in my gut. We've talked enough. I know what's going on in your life. I know they need it. They're just scared or tired or confused or whatever. Like, I am going to relentlessly attack their objections because I know that it's going to bless their life. So like, it's basically just like making them brush their teeth. Like, if you know that it's important, if you know that it's good for them, like, don't quit until they do it.
Yes, I love that. I mean, like, I don't have kids, so I never would have, like, connected those dots like that, but that's so true, because I remember, like, being a kid, my parents, like, have you brushed your teeth tonight? Because, like, they don't care, because, like, you're going to do it no matter what, so I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so good. So I know I obviously sent you these questions beforehand just because I have a lot of them. But if anyone has any questions throughout this for either of us, just put them in the chat. I have it pulled up so I'll be able to see your stuff and everything. But basically I just kind of wanted to get on here. This has been on my heart a lot, so I feel like that is someone telling me to talk about this. And one of the biggest things that I know for myself last year, this is the time of the year that I was like working my butt off for 90 days. I was tired. Like, I was so tired. And that's really why I wanted to do it tonight. And it just so happened that it is April 1st and it's the beginning of the month and everything. We had such a huge month last month, and I just really want to talk about this now so everyone can kind of have these thoughts, tips, I guess, like sitting in the back of their head. So I'm going to kind of like flip around to these different things, but this is kind of just going to be a Zoom to just get ready for April and then just to keep you like consistently getting ready for the rest of the year. So like, that's kind of why I wanted to go over this now, like I said. And the first question I have for you, Amanda, is like, why do you think working consistently for like a month, like those 30, 31 days at a time, like needs to happen for your business?
Why it needs to happen. Okay. So the reason that is important, I think, do you mean instead of like working for part of the month and then like stopping and being lazy and then like
I know for myself, like I know for myself, like I would work in like 3-day increments and I would like work for 3 days, like not work for 3 days. It was just kind of like a back and forth thing. So like that consistency.
Amber Parker talks about this a lot, and I think that I can relate to this personally because I think that this is something that I naturally fall into if I'm not careful. Like, I have to be careful about this. I'm not somebody that's like magically able to do this too. Like, but what I think that you're tired because you fall into those patterns. And I'm not saying like you just in particular, me too. So I will run myself ragged because I'm not where I want to be. And I'm like, well, darn it, if I'm going to end this month, like not where I want to be. Like, my girls have worked too hard. I've worked too hard. But the reality is, if I would have just done, you know, the bare minimum, if I would have just done my non-negotiables every single day, then I wouldn't feel the like dilemma of, oh my gosh, like I need to get this many more volume, I need to get this many more DTs. I would probably already have it. And I mean, it's hard to say like if this, if that, but I really think so, because like I have watched Brittany for years be consistent like a crazy person, and she's never frantic like that, and she's also never tired like I am. And I mean, I've thought about it a lot, and on the months where I get really serious with myself with my 6 list, and sometimes it seems silly because sometimes I'm like, okay, well, my network's growing really quickly. Like, I don't know why I need to do this right now. Or like, why do I need to focus on that thing? I think it's just like the sense of accomplishment that you feel when you know that you did every single one of those things. Because some of them are harder than others. Like for me, posting however many posts y'all do a day consistently is the hardest one for me. And then some of them are really easy. Like interacting, I interact like a crazy person. Like I don't even have to try for that. That's not challenging. So like, oh my gosh, my phone is, sorry, somebody like called me. Okay, cool. I'm back. Okay. So interacting is like not an issue, but I think that if you go to bed every single night and put your head on the pillow and feel like you did the things that you know are most important, and it's funny because I was going to talk about this later, most important for your business, you won't feel like that and you're not going to freak out and you'll be more consistent. You're planting the seeds. So you're going to have more enrollments naturally and you won't feel tired, because then when the days come that you know, are at the end of the month, you're just going to, first of all, you're going to have more enrollments, but you're not going to feel like that sense of regret and like so dramatic, like you have to do more, because you have been doing it the whole time. And another thing of that too is like, you're showing your people what to do. And that's like where I get really convicted too, is like, we can't, even if we're still enrolling, like even if I'm doing post to post and signing people like a baller, like if you're not posting on your page, your newbies can't see that. And like, that's not good, because like you need to show them what to do. So it is actually important. Like, even if you're still enrolling, like I tell myself that lie. I'm like, well, I signed 4 DTs today and I signed 450 volume myself. Like I did fine today. Right. But they can't see that. They don't know what you did on post to post. You need to show them what to do. And that's how you'll be successful too. Because then in the end, you don't have to sign it yourself, because girlfriends have been posting the whole time.
Yeah, I love that. And that's actually something I was going to bring up here at the later in my notes. I cannot talk. Was like, I have like a daily checklist and mine's like in the living room right now, but like I send that into these chats every single night, because it's like, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Like I can see like my girls posting that I see. Sometimes I don't see their posts for days, just simply because they fall through the cracks. It's not like they're not posting or anything, but like messaging, like I don't know how many messages you're sending. Like I don't know how many host to post you've gotten up and like different things like that. So like that's why I've personally just continued using this checklist, because I feel like it kind of shows like, hey guys, like this is what I did today. And like, yeah, I can lie on that, but I wouldn't, just because like I want like, everyone just to see like that pace that I'm setting, I guess. So I like how you said that, because like it's completely true. And like that's something that I've always said, and like here even coming out with that, I have what you said, just doing like, even if you have to just do that bare minimum, I always say that if you can go to bed happy with like what you did that day, like you can't be mad about that. Like that is what you have to have that grace on yourself with. So I love that you said that. And then going off of that, do you have any tips for like not getting burnt out? And like, I hope that like makes sense, but I what kind of wanted to like go off of you more of like a collaboration, I guess, on that, just because like I have a couple things that I wanted to share too, but I just wanted to know what your tips were for that.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to hear yours, but I think self-development is probably my number one thing. And it's so crazy because it's like, you'll be going through a hard time and it's, you know, that it's the answer, but like, it feels like you've got too much going on, but you just have to figure out a way to make it work. I really like, this is a super practical tip. I'm not going to explain like, oh, you should do this because, I'm just going to tell you how I do it. That helps me a lot. This was a game changer for my self-development, and therefore like a game changer for my business. I got a pair of ear pods. I don't like the Apple ones because they hurt my ears. So I got a pair off of Amazon that are like the squishy ones. And you can put one in at a time. So what I do, and I mean, if you guys don't have kids, then this is not relevant. You can just do it. But actually, maybe if you want to know what's going on in life and you don't want to like ignore your boyfriend in the house, or like, I don't know what's going on, your mom. So I will put one in the morning. I put one in, I turn on my stuff. I don't put on the other one. And then I just leave it on. And it used to really bother me because I thought like, okay, well, when I'm doing my self-development, I'm so green and I'm such a weirdo. Like I want to sit down and I want to write it down and I want it to be color coded and I want it to be highlighted with tabs, but like, that's not my life. And I can't do that anymore. I have a child. I have a crazy dog. Like if there's no blood in a day, like it's a victory. So basically that's just not an option for me right now. And it's probably not an option for a lot of you guys either, like regardless of whatever is going on in your life. So I think it helps a lot to put one in your ear and then to just go on with your life. And I have had to make peace with the fact that I'm going to miss stuff. There will be stuff that I miss because I don't carry my phone around the whole time. Sometimes if there's something really good and I want to go back, then I go back and pause and hit rewind or whatever. But some days I'm like, you know what? This is just whatever I'm getting is better than nothing, because I was not going to be getting anything. And, you know, I'm cleaning my kitchen. I'm doing whatever. I'm trying to get lunch. Daniel's watching a show or something. So like, because I say that earpods work, because a lot of people say put it on the TV. Excuse me. We only have one TV. So I can't put it on the TV if he's watching something. And to be completely honest, a lot of the time that I get work done, he is watching TV. So I can't like steal his TV and like make him go do nothing the whole time, especially if it's like raining outside or whatever. If it's nice, sorry, that's a very long answer, but that's probably my best tip is self-development. And I wish I had something like else than that, but that's pretty much it.
No, yeah, I love that. And it's actually funny that you said that, just because like that was one of the things I had too. And like my biggest thing was I recently just got done reading High Performance Habits, and like this book literally changed my life. Brittany Hayes actually recommended it to me, which is crazy. But like this book was so good because like I said earlier, like I would work in these like 90-day spurts, and then I would like stop for a month, and then I would work for 90 days. And it's funny because all of my promotions up until triple went in 120-day increments. And I was just like, that is seriously, it's like, it's not funny, but it's just like, why? Because I literally had like worked my butt off, and then I would stop for a month and work my butt off, and I just like build that up. And like obviously pushing for these bigger promotions, like going triple, I mean, even going double and diamond, like honestly, like you just can't do that. Like you have to just have that consistent work behind it. And that was another reason why I wanted to like do this now, just because I know like we had a double and a diamond pop last month, and I know we're about to have so many more like that are coming this month. So like this is just like the biggest thing that like I've taken from that. But like even kind of like you said earlier, just like doing that bare minimum, like, and another thing that I have is like that bare minimum is going to be different for everyone. Like what I do in a day is not going to be what Amanda does. It's not going to be what Jennifer does. And it's not going to be what all of these other girls do. But kind of like you said earlier, if you can go to bed happy with yourself, just leave it at that. But like the biggest thing that I can say is even if you're just doing like 2 to 3 power hours a day, like whatever your schedule is, if you work in power hours, if you work in like these little checklist things, because I don't really work with like a power hour type of thing. I just have a checklist and I make sure it's done every single night, because I have like a very open schedule. Like obviously if I have days that are more packed, I do have a power hour that is like on a sticky note in front of my desk, but like I can just kind of work like whenever essentially. But especially when it is like crunch time for these big promotions, you have to make time for yourself, you guys. Like you have to just have that time to just like relax and to just kind of like breathe, you know, and like spend time with family. And it was funny because we had a girl go diamond, and her e-suite flipped over to diamond, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna go hang out with my boyfriend now. And I was like, I feel you, girl, because it's just like, it's like you sacrifice that little bit of time like to get the promotion done, I guess. But because I like, you know what I'm trying to say, I can't talk. But like kind of like I was saying, like maybe just like being intentional with the time that you have, because at the end of the day, like it's just getting that 6 list done, and that's going to be like the biggest thing. And I know here later I was going to ask what your 6 list was. I know like everyone's different, like I said, but I was just curious. But like just kind of like I said, like you have to be consistent with that pace, and you just have to keep it up, because like how I work every day isn't going to be how Amanda works. Like I said, like we have completely like 2 totally different lives, but we're still triple diamond. We're still both pushing for presidential. So you just kind of have to figure out the way to make it work for yourself, I guess.
I want to touch on that real quick, because
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, like with the last question that you asked. So basically talking about like when you get burnt out, it's because you weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing from the beginning. I think the 6 list is big too, but I want to talk about steps to success for a minute, because I think that a lot of times we can feel like, oh, I did my 6 list. Okay, but at the end of the day, like there is also a way that you can do the 6 list. I had a discussion with one of my leaders about this, where you can do the 6 list and you can do all the things like on your front, on the storefront, but in the back, you're not having the conversations. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And you're not getting enrollments. And I think that like the reason that sometimes people, sorry, I'm getting like super distracted by the chat. The reason that sometimes people feel burnt out is because like what Cheyenne said, that they'll go for 90 days and then they stop for a month. And it really is a vicious cycle, because I think the reason that you have to run for a crazy for 90 days is because of the previous time that you stopped. And then you stop again, and then you have to run like a crazy person because you're not where you should be. And I think that it trickles down throughout all of this. And I think that it's not just like enrollments, it's not just steps to success, but it's like doing the things that you should be doing. If you are a leader on this team or on any team, sorry, I'm like preaching to my people. If you're a leader on this team and like you're not on Zooms, you're supposed to be on, that is an issue. And like, that is the kind of thing, these are the kind of things that prompt you to have the freak out, that prompts you to get burnout. Because you're like, you'll all of a sudden do these bad behaviors, and then all of a sudden you look at where you're at, it's not where you want to be, it's not where you should be, it's not where you were, and then you freak out, and then you have to run like a person with their hair on fire for no good reason. But if you would have been doing what you're supposed to be doing, then you wouldn't have to stress out. Like, for example, we have people every single Tuesday messaging and asking questions, and I'm like, well, why weren't you on the team huddle last night? You would know the answer to this. Or like the family call, like it's so simple. Like you don't have to freak out Monday morning and be like, oh, I don't know what's on sale. Well, then why didn't you watch the thing last night? Then you would know everything else that everyone already knows. So you don't have to wake up feeling stressed out, like you don't know what's going on, because you could have known what was going on. So if you just did that, then like just to lay it out a little bit, like family calls, you need to be on them. Zooms that Cheyenne hosts, you need to be on them. I don't know if you guys do power hours, but if you don't, like, if you do power hours, then you need to be on those. Like if Cheyenne has said that's something that's important, then just do that. Or like leadership Zooms, like that should not even need to be said. And like the honest thing about it is too, because I've had people say like, oh, I didn't know about it, I didn't know about this. Figure out why you don't know about things and fix it, because that's your problem. You know what I mean? Like there's no excuse for that. And I do get it, because like I am a mess sometimes. Like I miss stuff, but like there was a point when I realized that like I was letting Brittany down by missing stuff, not paying attention. And it was like at a time where there's difficult things going on in my life, but we like to make excuses and lie to ourselves. And then this is what causes us to get to that point where we get so stressed out. So like if you ever feel like, well, I missed this because I didn't know this and I didn't see it, then figure out a way to set your notifications different, to set yourself up for success. Like put systems in place to set yourself up for success, and don't be too proud. Like I specifically remember, oh my gosh, my mom is FaceTiming me. Sorry, I'm never this popular. Like my mom is trying to FaceTime me. Okay, so definitely not to talk to me. She wants to talk to my kid. But like put systems in place. And there was a time that I specifically remember, like I was a really good leader for a really long time. And then there were a few months that I felt like I just really wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. Oh my gosh. Sorry, she's like relentless. This is where I get it. She's like, you will answer my call. Okay, so, but what I want to say is like put systems in place to set yourself up. And if you find yourself in a place where you are just so far removed from knowing what's going on, don't be too proud to go to your leader and ask them, hey, I don't remember what weeks we have the Diamond Zoom. Can you please tell me? Like they would prefer for you to do that than to pretend like you know what's going on and not be on them. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? So like, or that kind of thing, or like, I don't even know. Like there was just so many times that I went to Brittany, or this one specific time that I remember that I asked her so many questions is what I was going to say, that I realized that I didn't know what was going on with so many things. And I was trying to figure out, what is your problem? What are you not doing well? Because you know what you're not doing well. You don't need a leader to tell you. A lot of times we go to these leaders and then we want to make them fix our problems. I'm just not enrolling as many as I used to. Okay, well, you know in your heart of hearts what you're not doing. So be real with yourself. And for me, I need to write it out on a piece of paper because stuff gets messy in my head. So I need to write it out on a piece of paper like, I am not posting like I should. And figure out a way to fix that. Like once you've got the things that you're like challenged with, figure out a way to fix that, because there is a system that you can put in place. There's got to be a way. You can probably figure it out yourself too. Like I seriously doubt that you need help, but if you do need help, get some help from your leader. And put a system in place, because once you are actually doing the things that you're supposed to be doing on a regular basis, like Cheyenne said, even if you go to bed disappointed because you're not where you want to be, you'll be able to sleep and you won't feel burned out the next morning when you wake up, because you will know that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Does Sorry.
Yeah, I love that. No, that was perfect. And I like what you said just about like, I mean, you basically kind of said just like pointing yourself out, like if you aren't doing that thing. And it was so funny that you said that because literally, I think it was like the 26th or 27th. I hadn't enrolled a customer in like a week. And I was doing that whole like, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? And I was like, I'm only messaging like 50 people a day. And like, I know like you do like attraction marketing and everything. And it's just like, I was like, I know I try to message 120 people and I wasn't even hitting half of that. And it was funny because I sent a voice memo to my leader and I was like, I just don't know what it is. And I was like, I'm posting, I'm following up, I mess. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not messaging. And I was like, never mind, just forget I even sent this because I knew I wasn't messaging a lot. And it was just that thing that like how you said you had to write it. I have to talk to myself. So I'll even send myself voice memos sometime. I'll just like literally text them to myself because like I just need to figure it out and like talk to someone. Yeah, I love that you said that though, and because like that was the biggest thing was like learning to point myself out because I was always the type of person that like I know I'm doing everything perfect, like I'm awesome. And it was just like, no, girl, like you could be doing so much different or like so much better, you know. And so I love that you said that because it is something that for me it was so hard to learn, but now that I can, it's just like okay, like you like it wasn't right today, but let's turn it around tomorrow, and it's not something that you can like fester on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's not like you're being negative because I used to think it's being negative, but what I see it as now is strategically thinking about areas for improvement because we all have them no matter how amazing you are. Like everyone, even top however many in the company, top 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, they all have things that they can improve on, but no one's probably ever going to tell them because people think that's mean and they might not naturally think about it unless they sit down and think like, what am I not doing as well as I could be?
Yeah, sorry, I was typing. I love that. Also, to answer some of the questions in the chat, this was actually my next question for you. But what is that like daily 6 list that you have? And like I said, I know it's going to be different for everyone, but I'm just wondering like what is your like kind of daily routine, I guess?
Okay, so for me, I like to post about, okay, so I have interpretations of what mine actually says. Mine is to post 2 to 4 times a day. Our team actually teaches 3 to 6. I am being honest with myself. I do not do that very well. And when I do 2 to 4, I have a better likelihood of getting 4 than I do if I say 3 to 6 and stress myself out. So I say 2 to 4. Following and unfollowing on Instagram and Facebook if you're not already at 5,000. Interacting in general. Mine is like I want to get 3 host to posts up for the day. Like actually up. I need to have 3. That's like non-negotiable, bare minimum. And then another one that I have is I'm going to get myself self-development is the first one. Actually, I'm like getting myself confused. And then I also have, I'm trying to look at my paper. Why can I not remember this? The last one is like really important. Oh, following up with everybody who I talked to yesterday. So following up with every single person that I talked to yesterday.
Yeah, I love that. So yeah, like I said, like I know someone asked in the chat, what is a 6 list? Like sometimes mine's like a 4 list. It's like whatever you need to get done a day. And like I know for myself, mine is like posting to my wall, and like my story. I like combine those because to me that's such like a not even like a question, it just kind of happens. Make sure I'm messaging. Like I said, I personally try to message 120 people. That is like my number. If I hit that, I know that I'm typically going to hit this many responses to get this many phone numbers to then get this many potentials. Like y'all see what I'm saying? I know like Joel Dunn and Stephanie, they always say like find that happy number for yourself. That's my happy number. It's going to be different for everyone. Make sure I'm following up with people every single day, doing self-development, doing host to post, and then growing my market. Those are like my biggest things every single day. And I wish I had mine in here. I know something that I did for my team was like I made this little checklist thing. And it says like do this every day, and it's just like this super cute little picture. And I know I have it laminated. I know one of my girls, Morgan, also has it printed out too, but we like actually have to print it out and we just cross it out every single day. So like typically mine's like always right here. I really wish I could just like pull it up and show you guys, but it's just like having that out so I see exactly what I've gotten done every single day, because like that is going to be that biggest thing for me. My photos are pulling up for some reason. Maybe Siri just heard me say that. That was weird. But yeah, so like I said, that's kind of that thing that I do every single day. And like Morgan or Mariah said, I just put a new one in my phone notes every day. So yeah, like however you guys need to do it. Like I know we had one girl that put the like in your notes, you could put like the little bubbles and like actually check them out, or like check them out like a to-do list, I guess. You can do it like that. Actually set reminders. I know people have like alarms that go off throughout the day. I used to do that, but like it stressed me out because like I'm the type of person that like if I'm cleaning my kitchen and I have an alarm set off to like send out 30 messages, I'm going to stop cleaning my kitchen to send out those messages because that alarm is going off right then and there. So like it started to just like do like a negative effect on me. So I personally can't do that. But like I said, just have to figure out that little like groove for yourself and then just like stay consistent with it. So yeah, that was kind of more of the like, I don't say tangible, but just kind of the like things I wanted to talk about, I guess. And then just some other things I just simply wanted to know just because I was curious. How do you go about just like having your chart out? Like, do you have like a physical chart that you look at like every single day? And like, does that make sense?
Yes, it's on my iPad and I am a freak about it. It's basically in the morning. So in the morning, I've been starting a new morning routine, and I will say I have my 6 list. I have it handwritten, and at the top it says I can do these 6 things every day. And that has helped me a lot. Like, I know that's silly. That was different for me than a to-do list. A to-do list felt like chores, and this feels like empowerment. Like, it is Ashley Wallace. Yes, the chart. I'm going to freak out about the chart. Okay, so the chart for me is something that I feel like I start my day with my chart. And I think that that is how I promoted a double. That's how I promoted a triple. That is how I think that it has to be done. Like, for example, today's the 1st of the month. Like, before you go to bed tonight, mine's not done yet. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not done. Before you go to bed tonight, you need to have your chart updated with predicted volumes. It's like, you have to. If you go to bed tonight before you do that, then you're basically admitting that you don't care enough to figure out where you're at, and you are going to sacrifice days. You're going to sacrifice days that you could know where you're going, because you can't go somewhere unless you know how to get there. So I feel like if you don't know like what you need to do, like, it's not good. So I will get up, I wash my face, I brush my teeth, and then I usually get celery before both those things. Then I do that, and then I come back in and like make myself presentable so that I can like do a live for coffee or something. Then I get my coffee, and I've got my self-development in my ear the whole time. And then I go sit down at my kitchen table, let my kid watch Daniel Tiger, and I pull out my chart and I start figuring out, like, I just look at it and I kind of start figuring out, and like I go from there. So it's, I kind of will look at, you'll see names. And when you see the names, sometimes you're like, I need to talk to that person. And that helps too, because it's not all about just the numbers and the volume. It's about figuring out what we're doing and making sure that we're doing it well. And sometimes it's business related, sometimes it's not. But I think that that's how you support your team, and that's how you like make sure that everything is going well. And also just making sure that like I do my own volume, but I still kind of like harass people low key about making sure that they do their own. So like, I know what your volume is, I know what you need, but I am still going to ask you because you need to figure it out. You need to know how to figure it out, and you need to care enough to do it. Because if you don't, what are we doing here? Like, I don't know how else to say it other than that. Like, I can't handle it when someone doesn't have their chart. Like, if I ask somebody for their chart and they say, oh, I'll have to get it or whatever. First of all, I have a rule, and it's not being very well abided by on my team right now. I'm going to be really honest. Like, I used to be a lot more strict, and I think I'm going to have to get a little bit crazier. So Ashley, you're going to just have to watch out. But basically, your chart needs to be with you at all times. I used to do it on a piece of paper, and I used to have it in, I actually have the thingy over here so I can show you what it was. Oh, that's going to fall. I used to have it in my diaper bag because it would fit in there, and I bought it for this reason, so that I can have it with me every single second of every single day. Because if I don't, it's not good. So I had this, it's like a plastic folder. I haven't used it for a really long time, so it's like not whatever, because I have it on my iPad. So it has 3 rings, and I think this is a great way to do it, guys. So if you don't have an iPad, this is a great way to do it. It's got 3 rings, so you can hole punch it or whatever, and you can put your chart in there. And then at the back, I have, okay, no, I don't, because I already took them out, but I have all my potentials listed at the back. But that stayed in the back little pocket of my diaper bag. So the most important thing with the chart is you have to have it with you at all times, because you need to be able to answer questions as a leader. if somebody asks you where to put whatever, you need to be able to pull that out because you have it updated and you need to be able to answer them. But likewise, they need to be able to send it to you. Like, you shouldn't be asking your leader for questions like where to place stuff if you haven't sent them an updated chart. Like, just don't even ask, because you're basically driving with no headlights on. Like, it does not work.
No, yeah, I love that. And so as for the charts, I personally use GoodNotes. I don't know if that's what you use, but I also use my iPad.
Yes.
And like, it was crazy. This is like one of the weirdest things, but like, I have like a smaller purse. So like my binder that used to also be sitting right there, is like regular size paper. It wouldn't fit in this purse. So I started to like not bring my binder with me because it wouldn't fit in my purse. And I was like, that's so dumb. Like, I literally bought an iPad to work my business off of. So business is mobile, but I have all my charts on here, and all of the charts are in like a PDF, so you can like import them as a file or like take a screenshot, do the same thing, whatever you need to do. But like literally, so like if I'm out somewhere and someone signs like 6 triple threats, I am taking that chart out and I am writing those 6 triple threats down, because like I need to make sure that my chart's updated, especially for pushing like whenever this is the goal. Like, that's a really big part. There's a lot going on, and like I know that like there's already stuff from today. We have it like boomed with this new deal that's going on. I already know I'm behind on my chart just because like I haven't updated the almost 20 customers we've enrolled today, just simply because I had just like you, I haven't even finished my chart. So it's like once I get that done, I can look in downline activity and just kind of go from there. But like, I love that you said that though, because like my chart is like, it's like my kid, you know, like that's my baby.
That's your baby. Like, you take your baby with you, you know what I mean? And also, every time you have a new customer, even if it's not from you, we have shout out threads. So every time Sally or whoever signs a new customer, that's a victory. And like, you get to update that. Like, that feels good. So like every day, like you stop for like 13 seconds, you update it. That feels good. And like that creates that momentum that keeps you going.
Exactly. I know, like, just for myself, like whenever we were like pushing for promotions, we were on Zoom and it was like, ooh, sign to 30, sign to 28, and it was just like, oh my gosh, just because you literally got to update the chart so fast. And then I get to the whole like, well, like I have 100 less than you, like how did you get that number? You know, like that whole thing. But it's just like keeping them updated. It's just exciting, and like you said, like it's just like a victory. And like we do like a boom chat, so it's like the same thing, because like I see like all of these girls booming, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like where are you placed? How much volume was it? How close are you? Like, it's just crazy. But yeah, I love that.
And actually, just a housekeeping tip for you real quick, your leaders should be sending you, like all of y'all who are on here, like when you update your chart, just do Cheyenne a favor and take a picture of it and send it to her. Like, you don't even need to say anything. You can just say, here's my updated chart. And like, don't wait for her to ask you for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, because like I always know like how it feels. Like, I mean, especially just like pushing for promotions, because it's like we have like some high enrollers on the team. So it's like they enroll 5 customers and I'm just like, you're like 1,000 BV less now. Like, I need to see what it was, you know? And like, I'm also just so green that like I have to have my chart updated, and like, it's just so crazy. But yeah, I love that. But trying to think. Oh, so oh my gosh, something else I wanted to go off of with that was just kind of like more of like your dream board. And I know like we were talking about that a little bit earlier, but just like, why is like having that goal out, that like your reason why, like, does that make sense? I don't know what I'm trying to ask, but just like, do you have
no, it does. I've got you. I've got you. So basically, I think for me, like, I struggle with the idea of money because I feel like I'm super blessed, and I feel like because of my faith, like I have a weird place in this business, or I felt like that for a really long time anyways, because this business makes people crazy, crazy wealthy. And in my head, I've always equated wealth with like, I don't know, like not necessarily anything good. So for me, I always thought like, we are blessed. Like, we have a roof over our head. Like, we have food in our belly. Like, we are taken care of. Like, the Lord has provided for us. So I always thought like I didn't need any more money. And I mean, I guess that's the thing, is like, at the end of the day, I feel like God is going to provide for us. So regardless of what it is, I'm provided for. But I do have dreams. And you know what? Like, I think that my husband is friends with John Akala, and John Akala has this idea that he says that like money is fluid, and like It's like it's like a non-renewable resource, or like a renewable resource. I don't know. I'm probably butchering this for sure. But basically it's going to go somewhere. Like someone is going to get the money. Like, so for example, our company is a Christian-owned, debt-free company who has all natural health and wellness products. A lot of our things, there's competitor products that look even the same. It's weird. If you go look over by the pharmacy section in Walmart, you'll see a lot of things. Now, I have no idea. I'm not saying that those are bad companies, but I don't know about the companies that are producing those. I don't know who's getting money in their pocket. I don't know what they're doing with that money. I don't know what kind of legislature they support. I don't know any of that. But for me, I think that like, once I realized this, then I was like, it's okay for me to want more things. Like, it's okay that I would like something. Like, it really is okay. And I'm not being greedy, and I'm not like thinking that I'm less blessed. And it's not like I'm thinking that God hasn't blessed me. So one thing that I did that completely changed the game for me, and like my dream board, the whole thing, at Dallas Green Carpet 2 years ago, Cammie did something where she made you sit down with another person. And for I can't remember if it was 3 minutes or 5 minutes, she asked you, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? So I remember the person that I did it with, they have to ask you over and over again. You have to say something every single time. And like, it's hard at first, but then you're like, oh, I would like this. I would like this. I would like, I don't know, like I would like to pay my house off. I would like to pay off my husband's car. I would like to be able to financially support my grandparents with their prescriptions. I would like to be able to donate more generously at our church. Like if there was an event or something, I would love to just say, you know what, I can pay for that. Or if like it's not on the budget, I used to work at our church, so I know a lot about the budget. Like if it's not on the budget, I'd like to pay for that. Or I would like to send my kid to a Christian school. I would like to do all of these things. So I think that once you really start being honest with yourself about what you want, you realize that like, it's good stuff probably, and it kind of makes you want to work harder. You know what I mean? Or like, I'm supporting one Kid First Americans purse. I would love to support like 100 or like all of them. Like, why not all of them? You know what I mean? Like, and it kind of gives me chills when you think about that, but like, you won't realize that you want to work harder for those things unless you sit down and think about what would you do? Like of all of the things, you can have all the things in the whole world. What do you want?
No, I love that. And I totally forgot about that at the Dallas Green Carpet. That was my first ever event. It was my first time ever talking to someone else in this business other than Shay. I was so nervous, and like I literally cried, and like I'm not a crier. If you know me, like I do not cry. And so like this lady, I mean, she was like, it made me cry thinking about it. She just wanted all of these things, and I was like, I want like a dog. I was like, I don't know what I want. I was just like, at that time, I mean, I had just went Emerald. I had just made my first 4-figure paycheck. I was like, I mean, I was like, I don't know what I want. Like, I'd like to move out, I guess. Like, I don't know. And it was that moment that I started thinking about things. And like, that was really when I started pushing for Diamond. And like, obviously pushing for Diamond, like led me to other things. And then like, after going double is when I moved out because of that event, literally. Cause like, if it wasn't for that, like, I don't know. Like, I've just never been the type of person to just kind of like dream bigger, I guess, like until I joined this, and I just had to like grow that side of me. And also someone asked in the chat, I want you to answer because I just want to see what you say, but she asked like, it's harder for me to dream bigger. Like, how did you do that? Like, how did you grow that side?
I had a really hard time with it, and I think it's harder to dream bigger when you're grateful for what you have. Like if you're thankful and you don't feel like, I don't know, like you're in need, then you don't feel like you need anything. Like I remember starting that activity with Cammie and being like, I have everything that I need. Like, what do I need? I don't need anything. I don't want anything. Like, I'm fine. But then I thought about it and I was like, well, because she gave examples, and I was like, well, our car isn't paid off and we're living in an apartment. I would like a house. Like, and I think that if you just think about like, think really, really practically, and just think about like, is your car paid off? Do you own a home? Like, if your loved ones got sick, would you be able to pay for them? Maybe they are sick. Can you help them? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you have a $5,000 emergency fund? Like we love Dave Ramsey. Do you have a $5,000 emergency fund? It's a good idea, especially right now. Like, you should do that. and all of those things. And that day was so funny to me because I sat there and I was like, I don't want anything. Like, I'm good. And then I'm like, well, that's stupid. We only have one car. It's not paid off. We live in an apartment that we hate. Like, I want a lot of things, actually. I would love for my husband to be able to stay home a little bit more with my son, who he never gets to see. And I think that when we get really, really honest with ourselves, then we can figure it out. Because, like, unless all of y'all are just rolling in the dough, y'all own your own houses, it's all paid for, like, you're donating like 30% of your check to your church and you're supporting small villages in Africa, like, you probably do want more. You're just not, like, being honest with yourself.
No, yeah, I love that. And like, it was really like you said, it was hard at first just because it's just like my parents pay for all my bills. So I kind of got it made, like, why would I want to leave or anything like that? But no, like, I totally get that. And like, it was just kind of like, it was like the smaller things. Like, I like literally, this is such a big deal to me, but like, y'all know my cat. I wanted a cat so badly. I love my little keto bug, but that was like one of the big things that I wanted. I wanted to be able to have my own apartment so I could adopt my own cat. And that literally probably got me to triple diamond, because like I just wanted to be able to adopt my own cat. And then it's like now it was just like, okay, well, like I'm in that apartment. I got a new apartment, and then my cat has like so much more room to play in. Like, what do I want now? And it was like, I'd like a new car to drive around. And so it was just like those little things like that it just kind of like sort of getting the wheels spinning. And then like I noticed myself like just like little things, because like you don't want to like have a dream based on someone else, because like I know for myself, like it was like Shay bought a Tahoe and I was like, Tahoes are cool. It was like, well, no, I don't really want a Tahoe. And so then it was just like finding that next car that I wanted. Or it was just like, like I'm 21, like, I don't know, but like, I think I want a house, like that would be cool. Or like to adopt a dog too. I don't know, just different things like that. And it's like, they may seem like little to other people or even little to yourself, but it's like, those are the things that you need to focus on first. Like she said, if your car is not paid off, like my car that I currently have is a lease. So like, it's not even really my car to begin with.
Yeah.
And it's just like different things like that like I know that next goal, or like to be able to I have it as like an auto pay to, what is it? I have the $39 to go to Children's Cup, and I automatically have them do groceries. There's 3 gifts you can do every single month. And like, that's like my goal, is to be able to like automatically do all 3 of those gifts for the 2 children that I sponsor every single month.
And just not have to think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, now I typically just do groceries because like every single month, because I know I can do that. But getting to the point where I can just say like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, just take it, and like, that's like one of those things. So yeah, it's just like those little things that mean a lot to you. And it's like, I feel like that's probably like the biggest thing. So she also just asked, like, how do you know if a dream is like too big? Like, I personally don't think any.
Okay. Well, I was literally, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was going to let you speak.
Yeah. So I was literally just thinking about this. I'm going to say, like, you're talking about how sometimes the little stuff feels like it's like too weird to put on a dream board. I think sometimes the big scary stuff we're embarrassed to dream about, because people think you're crazy if you say, what's on our dream board? We just bought a $450,000 home. And I'm like, I would like to pay this home off this year. And everyone's like, how are you going to do that? I don't know, but I'm going to try. Like, and if it's not on my dream board, it's not going to happen this year. So like, that's one thing. I think that when we have these crazy dreams, everyone's like, that's nuts, until you do it. And then they're like, please show me how you did that. And also like my husband wants to quit his job, and he's like trying to figure out when he can do that so that he can stay home and help us run our business and hopefully have another baby. And, if not, then just be here with Daniel and spend time with us. But he wants to quit his job. That's a crazy thing to put on your dream board, because he has a fantastic job. So everyone's like, what? What do you mean you want to quit your job? So it feels really weird until I know it's going to happen. And when it does happen, no one is going to think it's weird. They're going to be like, how did you do that? Or like, for example, we've got, we would like to buy a jet. We would like to, Louis wants to get his pilot's license, and we want to buy a very small plane. And we want to travel all over the place and have date night in whatever city we want to have. Yeah, you can come. So basically, like, that's on our dream board too. And everyone thinks that's crazy. But the thing of it is I understand this company. I understand our compensation plan, because I've seen the checks in my bank account. And I know that if I keep working hard, those things are not crazy. It's not dreaming, and it is going to happen. It is just a matter of time. Like, and what Cami says is, no matter how big the thing is, no matter how crazy it seems, once she put her mind to it and worked hard and spoke about it often, it is only a matter of time. And I think that, like, when you've got yourself set up with a company like this, with the earning potential that we have, no dream is too big, as long as you understand that you can only achieve what you believe is possible. So if you are telling yourself in your head that it's possible, you will go get it. If you're telling yourself that it's crazy, you're not going to get it.
I loved every word that just came out of your mouth. That was so good. And like, it's so true. Cause like, I never like thought about it like that, but like literally, like, it's just, I have no word. I have nothing else to add to that. That was seriously so good. Yeah, that was kind of everything I had. But yeah, that was seriously so good. I literally just like kind of want to end it there because that was a whole word. But yeah, if anyone has any other questions, please go ahead and ask them. Amanda, if you have anything else you want to share, please share anything else. They're asking what your Instagram handle is. Is it just your first and last name, I think?
It's amanda.a.steyn, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm following Cheyenne, if you can, I don't know if you can see that, but so the last thing that I wanted to say, and I was praying about like what to say before I got on here, because I looked at your questions, but then I didn't like decide what I was going to say. And I've been praying for like since this morning about like for God to bring the right thing. And then whenever I was fixing my hair real quick, I was thinking that I just wanted to say, whether you think you can or you can't, whatever you think, you are correct. So if you're looking at a Prez chart and you are, I don't know, 45,000 BB away and you think that you can't, then you're not going to. If you're looking at a Ruby chart and you just signed up today and you have 0 BB and you're looking at the number 2000 and you think you can't, you're not going to. But if you look at it, and I'm telling you right now, not because I've done things that have made me know that it's possible, but because of other people in our company, like Kadi Ali, like Marwa, like you can do anything you want to. Like Marwa's girl Noon went Prez in 1 day. 1 day, folks. 1 day. Like, let that sink in for a second. I know that's like so crazy, but like when you realize that that is possible, like it changes your perspective. And the reason, like I talked to her about it at conference, like when you think about that, like I asked her, how did you do that? And I still don't know how she did that. I'm going to be honest with you.
I have tears in my eyes.
No, she did though. Like you can, and she just looked at me like it was nothing. She was like, well, I just went for it. And I was like, I can't fathom that. Okay. So that's a little bit extreme for me, but like, regardless of whatever your next promotion is, like stop looking at maintaining. Pam talks about this a lot. Like if you're looking at maintaining, you're not going to maintain. You're going to keep dropping down. It's not good. Like try to promote, focus on new growth, and you will never not maintain. But you're never going to promote by looking at like what you're, even if you're like, okay, let's say you're a double diamond and you're maintaining diamond. Let's say you're a double diamond and you're maintaining ruby. Like pull out your double diamond chart, stop it and pull out your double diamond chart. Like don't be pulling out your diamond chart and settling for that. Like if you think that it is possible, and if you tell yourself and really believe that it is possible to go Prez this month, you will go Prez this month. If you don't, then it's not. You know what I mean?
I needed to hear that. Thank you.
I wasn't actually even talking to you, but
no, yeah, you're on the speaker view and you were just like speaking. I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm going Prez, goodbye. No, so but no, like that was literally so true though. And like I'm gonna cry.
I think that's like, okay, so sometimes we have people who do all the right things. They're doing their 6 list, they're doing their things, they're doing their messages, whatever y'all do, like they're doing the things. And then they're like, I'm not signing people. And they want you to fix it. And I really think that it goes back to that. If you believe it, it's going to happen. If you don't, it's not. And I'm not like a airy fairy super, I don't know, like whatever kind of person. Like, I don't know how to explain that. Like, I'm not like thinking, ooh, if I believe it, it will happen. Like, I don't know how to explain what I'm saying, but I don't like, that's not how I am. Like, I am by the book. Like, I am black and white, but there is just something about walking into a conversation, knowing what the person needs. Somebody wants to lose weight. I can help them. Like, I would like to help them. I think that that's important to be our healthiest self, you know, to have a healthy cardiovascular system. It is important. Like, you know, so if you walk into a conversation deciding and believing that you're going to be able to sign that customer, you will sign that customer. You have the confidence, we have the right products, like, and I think that that just changes everything about like how you actually achieve those, is when you just walk into it, like it's real simple. And I know, I'm thinking, was it Cami? Cami said in one of our leadership Zooms before, somebody wanted to know, like, when you haven't been enrolling, how do you switch it over and then all of a sudden start enrolling again? She's like, you just do it, okay? Like, there's no special sauce, like, just do it.
No, yeah, and that was so true. I remember something I was going to say when you were talking about charts and everything, like just being completely honest, like I did like lose rank a couple months, and it was just like, I was so just like, I don't know how to get it back. And I was just like, I'm not saying that, like, get out your triple diamond chart, look at it. And then like, I kid you not, the month that I took out my triple diamond chart was the first time in like 6 months that I took out this chart. I maintained double the next month, and I consistently maintained double, and my volume has only grown to the fact where like now I have volume to maintain triple. And it was just like, it was that like it was that small switch that I just had to make to just like decide truthfully. And even what you said just about customers, like I went into this whole just like, it's been 6 days, I haven't enrolled. And it was like, I know what I wasn't doing. And then I enrolled 5 customers that day because I know how to do that. Like I know how to enroll those customers and everything.
Right. It's really simple. That's the beauty of it. It's so simple.
Exactly.
We complicate it and make ourselves confused and stressed out. It's really simple.
I love that so much. I loved everything on this. I hope you guys took so much from this, because I definitely did. I needed to hear seriously everything that was just said. So thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so excited we did this. I am going to go ahead and stop the recording.